coming up on the Suze Orman Show.
Your greatest money fears and how you can get over them. Stop letting your past financial fears, your past financial actions ruin the possibility of an extraordinary financial future.
And you ask me, can I afford it?
I want to buy a bottle of 1989 Chateau Haut-Brion.
For $1,000? Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. Boy, over the past few years, we've been through a lot together, haven't we? A lot about your money, a lot about the economy, a lot about the situation in the United States of America, just a lot. And a lot of you are really, really still afraid. You're afraid you're not going to get a job. You're afraid you're going to miss the real estate market. You're afraid to invest in the stock market. But I just want to talk to you about your fears. Because in my opinion, fear is the main internal obstacle to wealth. And I want you all to be wealthy. So please listen to what I'm about to say. It's very important that you feel powerful in your life. And when you are afraid to do something, that fear literally renders you powerless. And when you don't have power, you're powerless. There is no energy in your physical body for you to do that which you need. But somehow your mind takes over, and you take actions with your money that normally get you in trouble because they're coming from a place of fear rather than from a place of power. So if you find yourself saying these next words to yourself, I'm here to tell you this is an indication that you are coming from the wrong place and you should not take the action that you are about to take, because you're about to take an action from fear, and fear is not the reason you should do something. If you find yourself saying, I am so afraid that I'm going to be missing this real estate market, I have to buy a home right now, I'm here to tell you, you shouldn't be buying a home. If you're saying to yourself, I'm so afraid, my financial advisor just called me, and if I don't make this investment, I'm going to miss the greatest opportunity of my life, I'm here to tell you, pass it up. There is no real estate, in stock market investment, or any investment out there that will not be there tomorrow when you know why you're buying it. If you're doing something out of fear, you are about to make a mistake. Now, it's not just real estate, not just investments, it's the things that you buy as well. I'm so afraid. I go into the store, I see something on sale. I'm so afraid that if I don't buy this right now, it's not going to be here when I come back. If you find yourself thinking that or saying that to yourself, leave it alone. You don't need it, and the truth is you don't even want it. It has been really provoked in you out of fear that you should buy this. Now, fear can be overcome. Fear is overcome by knowledge, by you taking the time to learn. There will be a time for you to invest. There will be a time for you to buy real estate. There will be a time for you to buy something in the store. But it's when you know about what you're doing and you're doing it from a place of strength, not from fear. So let's go now to San Diego, California, where we have a woman who happens to be 42 years of age, and she is ready to face her money fears. She is filled with fear of what she has done, financially speaking, to herself, her relationship, and her money. Shellie, tell everybody about it.
Yes, thank you, Suze, for having me on here. I'm so grateful. Yes, I have been avoiding my past financial responsibilities, and I'm ready to take that challenge on, and confront it. It's really been holding me hostage for probably 15 years now, and I've currently, been able to do the same thing I did in my past, and that's to build up more credit debt. And it's really not fair to my family and my husband, who's been so supportive. And I'm really just here to make a change and to face it. And it feels really good. but it's scary at the same time.
So let me tell everybody a little bit about your past that you don't want to face, you want to face now, but you haven't wanted to face. In your 20s, when you were younger, you rang up all this credit card debt, about $30,000 worth of it. And you just somehow let it go, and you didn't pay it, and you were so obsessed with it that you actually just kind of got rid of it by doing what? Not having any more credit cards in your name. In fact, when we do research on you, you don't have any FICO scores, you don't have any credit reports currently, and that is because you don't carry any credit in your name. The good news is, all that money that you thought you owed in the past, the $30,000?
Correct, yes.
It's gone, girlfriend. It's gone. There are no records of it. We can't find it anywhere because it's been 9 or 10 years that you have anything. So it's gone. So the first thing is, forget the $30,000 that you thought you owed. It's gone. It has been written off. Wow. However, you decided to do it all over again. And even though you don't have any credit cards in your name, you've married this extraordinary man who has credit cards in his name. You take his credit cards, charge things that you actually don't need, but that you want, and you have managed to run up again $42,000 in debt. $12,000 from a consolidation loan of your old credit cards, $30,000 on new credit cards in his name, and that is what we need to face right now, correct?
Correct.
Why do you think that he just continues to let you do this? He pays the bills, he doesn't really say anything, and he has just allowed you to do all this.
Susie, I have an amazing husband, and I think that I worked full-time my whole life, and I became a stay-at-home mom. And I think that my husband will do anything to make me happy. And my intentions, it wasn't intentional to hurt my husband or my family, but I think my emotional boredom, just allowed things to get carried away. And I'm just blessed, and I don't know, but it's time for me to take charge of my life and not allow my husband to suffer anymore. And he's really suffered in silence.
All right, but Shellie, here's something that's very important, because I'm about to give you an immediate action plan and then a long-term action plan where really in just 3 years, you can go from $42,000 in debt that you're currently in to about $40,000 in a savings account. How would that make you feel? All right, so everybody, you have to listen, because I'm going to give Shellie steps as to how to go from having nothing to having security. But before I get there, I think it's very important for you as a woman to stop blaming yourself for this totally. Listen, I can tell you, everybody, let's look at a picture of you and your husband. You make the most magnificent couple. You absolutely do. Look at them. This is them on their wedding day. Her husband is a Navy SEAL, and as a Navy SEAL, I'm just projecting on him, he obviously is willing to rescue you in any situation, and he will give up his life for his wife. Sometimes, though, and I talk about it all the time, helping can hurt, and sometimes hurting can help. He has enabled you to go on and continue to do this by not saying anything, suffering in silence, and just allowing you to keep spending and spending and spending when you don't need to be, even though you're doing so out of emotional boredom. So I want you to understand it's not just on you alone. Got that?
Yes.
He's allowed you to do this. So your immediate action plan is this. Currently, you are a stay-at-home mom. And from everything I've read about you, you're willing to go to work, but you want to be a stay-at-home mom more than anything in life, correct?
That's correct.
And I get that, moms. And I also get that there's no important job. There's no more important job than being a mother to your children. Therefore, let's just talk about what you can do with what you have. We need to get your energy up. We need to get it so that you have energy to go forth and do everything that you're doing. Now, you've told my producers that over the past few years, you have gained 20 pounds, correct?
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
All right. When you gain 20 pounds, how does that make you feel about yourself?
It's shocking. It makes me feel, I don't feel the same. I don't have that energy because I don't have that self-confidence I used to have.
Bingo. You cannot change a situation if you don't have the energy to change the situation. So I want you, starting tomorrow morning, I want you to get up every day, and the first thing that you are going to do, I don't care if you do it with your kid, I don't care how you do it, I want you to exercise, physically exercise at least 30 minutes a day and commit to that for the next 3 months. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to have a talk with your husband. And I want you to ask him to help you. I want him to be able to take these cards by your request and to literally hide them from you. I don't care what he does with them, where he puts them. Obviously, he travels a lot. He needs a credit card. But I need you to go back to cash. You're going to join my back to cash movement. And therefore, he needs to get rid of the temptation of you going into his wallet, taking out his card without him knowing it, going to charge something, and him being so wonderful that he just pays for it. Are you willing to do those two things?
Absolutely.
All right, that is your immediate plan that you are going to do tomorrow. Coming up next, I tell Shellie how to get out of $40,000 of debt in just 3 years. So at the end of the 3rd year, you now have approximately $36,000 or more in savings.
Wow.
And later, been wanting something? Ask me, can I afford it?
I would like to buy a used firewood processor.
You have not started out on a good foot with me, however. Go on.
Uh-oh.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. My Talk with Shellie continues. I've just given this stay-at-home mom some immediate action steps to stop overspending. Next, her long-term plan to get rid of it completely. Now, I'm going to give you a 3-year action plan. I have gone through all of your expenses. There are 3 of you at home. Number 1, he's not at home a lot, and you currently spend $800 a month on food and $100-some-odd a month on eating out. $800 a month on food for you and a 7-year-old. That's how old your son is, correct?
That's correct.
All right. It's too much money. Too much money. So you need to learn how to start controlling the money you spend, and you need to literally cut that down by a few $100s. You need to stop eating out. You also go and you have manicures, you have all these things that you are spending money on, makeup, manicure, hair, and things like that. I need you, and you need yourself, to simply find $500 extra per month in the amount of money that you spend. Currently, you're making it. But if we can just cut your expenses by $500 a month, which you can easily, Shellie, do you hear me?
I do.
If you then took that $500 a month and you add it to the current bill, you're spending $700 a month now on a personal loan that you are paying where you owe $12,000. If you take that $500 and add it to the $700 or $800 a month that are a part of your expenses now and pay off the $12,000 that you owe in 1 year, that loan will be gone. All right, how does that make you feel?
I just can't even say anything about it. I'm just very happy.
All right, now, in 1 year from now, you now have that $12,000 loan gone, and you now have $1,200 a month that was going towards that personal loan that is going to be added to the $1,200 a month that you're currently paying on your credit card debt. So now we have $2,400 a month 1 year from now going towards your $30,000 of credit card debt. That next year now, you will be totally out of credit card debt because $2,500 a month towards approximately $30,000 of credit card debt, you're going to be out of credit card debt. At the same time, after 2 years are up, your car that you're currently paying $800 a month for will be paid. It'll be gone. You don't have any more monthly payments. Now, I have $800 a month that you were paying towards your car, plus $2,500 a month that you were paying towards your credit card debt freed up. I now have $3,300 a month that you can start putting in savings in year 3. So at the end of the 3rd year, you now have approximately $36,000 or more in savings. Talk to me, girlfriend. What do you think?
I'm just so blessed to have been given this advice, Susie. It's really confusing going out there on your own. It's depressing because you don't know where to start. And just to have an actual plan from you is, you know, I'm just so thankful to you for that.
But here's the biggest part of the plan that I didn't tell you yet. The biggest part of the plan is you have got to stop beating yourself up for what you did in the past.
Yeah.
Listen, Shellie, you're not alone. There are many, many people watching this show with you right now that we could all sit here and we can say, you know, my parents were irresponsible with money and that's why I'm irresponsible. You know, I was in a bad relationship and they made it really difficult for me after we got divorced and this. You know, I spent more money than I should have and I lost a home and I did all of these things. And we can spend hours and hours of our time looking at all of these reasons why we are such failures today. Right. I am asking you and everybody else watching tonight's show, stop letting your past financial fears, your past financial actions ruin the possibility of an extraordinary financial future. You have to face your fears to erase them. You erase them by taking action. There's only one way to silence fear, and that is through action. If you continue to dwell on what a bad person you are, how you've ruined your husband's life, how you've done all of these things that are horrible, you will drain yourself of the energy needed to propel yourself into motion to put this plan into action so that you can save yourself, save your family, and everybody else. So the biggest thing I'm asking you to do is stop punishing yourself for the past. Start exercising. Love who you are. Be so grateful that you have one of the most extraordinary husbands I've ever come across, and go for it from there. Got it?
I got it, Susie.
Girlfriend, I want to hear back from you. I want to hear that you're exercising. I want to hear that you've actually done this. And if you really want to speed up this action plan, simply get a job, make money, and 3 years can turn into 2 or 1 before you know it.
Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I want to buy a bottle of 1989 Chateau Haut-Brion.
For $1,000?
It's a tasty bottle, Susie.
I can tell it's $1,000. Also,
Susie, I want to buy my dream car. A car I've been planning over for the past 20 years.
why do I have this feeling that your wife is not into this on any level? What do you want to buy?
1967 Shelby Cobra.
Firewood processor.
Tickets to my 10-year high school reunion.
Welcome back, everybody, to the segment you all wait for. America waits for this segment. Actually, the world waits for this segment because, you know, the Suze Orman Show is shown all over the world. This is Can I Afford It? This is where you call in, you tell me what it is that you want to buy, and I tell you if you can afford it or not. Are you ready? Let's go. Frank, what do you want to buy?
Susie, I want to buy my dream car. A car I've been planning over for the past 20 years. It's a replica of a 1967 Shelby Cobra. Now, by the way, over the past 20 years, we took control of our finances. We eliminated all our debt. except for mortgages. And so 2 years ago, I decided to pull the trigger and bought the kit for the replica. And my question to you now is, can I afford to finish the car by putting the engine and transmission and doing the body work?
All right, so I just have to say something before I go on. It's funny how you know, we did this, and I did the car. Why do I have this feeling that your wife is not into this on any level? It's like this little snake, this cobra snake that's biting you. Anyway, show me the money.
Okay, we've got $23,300 of combined monthly income.
Great.
That includes some rental properties.
Yeah.
We have expenses of approximately $15,018 a month.
Great.
For debt, we have, again, just the mortgages, $710,000 with 15-year fixed. That's 2 mortgages, including a rental property, and another rental property at $135,000, 30-year fixed. For savings, we have $70,000 liquid and $548,000 in retirement savings.
And you're 42 years of age, correct?
Yes, I am.
And all you want is $20,000 to do this car, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And you are denied.
Oh.
And did that shock you?
Yeah.
And here is the reason you are denied, my dear Frank.
Go ahead.
Number one, you have $72,000, and I know how you're going to pay for this. You are going to pay for it out of your savings. That's the only place you have, which brings, even if you did it little by little. But you should have $120,000 in savings to meet your 8-month emergency fund. While you think you have a lot of money in retirement, at the age of 42, $500,000 is not that much given your lifestyle and certain things. So I have to tell you, I agree with your wife here. Not that I even know that that's how she feels, but I don't think you can afford it. Deny. Don't try to fix my answer. You're not going to be able to do so. Leah, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to buy a bottle of 1989 Chateau Haut-Brion.
For $1,000?
Yes.
You want to spend $1,000 on a bottle of wine?
Yes.
Is this for you to drink?
Yes.
Are you an enophile?
I'm a big enophile. I'm a wine lover and collector, and I tasted this wine a few years ago from a generosity of a friend, and I've always wanted this bottle in my cellar.
And so you just want this. Where do you live?
I live in Los Angeles.
I was going to say, you better have earthquake insurance when you have a $1,000 bottle of wine in a cellar. Girlfriend, show me the money.
Okay, my monthly take-home is $7,500 a month.
Yeah.
My expenses are $4,843 a month.
Yeah.
My debt, I have a 30-year fixed mortgage at $455,000 at 5.25%.
Wait, let me get a bottle of wine to pour myself a glass while you're telling me all this. All right, so go on.
It's a tasty bottle, Susie.
I can tell it's $1,000. Go on.
I have credit card debt. I have $1,500 at 0%.
Uh-huh.
In savings, I have $45,000 liquid,
Yeah.
$115,000 in investments, and $82,000 in retirement.
And you want to know if you can buy a $1,000 bottle of wine, and how are you going to pay for it?
Out of liquid.
Out of liquid. All right. I have to toast you because you're approved. I know everybody's like, did Suze Orman just approve a $1,000 bottle of wine when this woman has $1,500 of credit card debt? I know you have $1,500 of credit card debt because it's at a 0% interest rate because you could pay it off if you wanted to. You have more than 8-month emergency fund. You are 33 years of age. You are on track. For whatever reason, if you want to buy this bottle of wine, girlfriend, you can do it. Brian, what do you want to buy?
Hello, Susie.
Hello, Brian, my love.
I would like to buy a used firewood processor. I'm a helicopter pilot, and we don't really fly much over the winter months, and I think I could use that time to generate some additional income by selling some firewood.
So $30,000 for a used firewood, whatever it does. How much could you generate in income per month with it?
Well, that's going to depend on how much time I dedicate to it.
So you haven't planned this out all the way.
Oh, yes. Well,
Well, no. Oh, Brian, if you had planned this out all the way, you would say, Susie, I plan to use this X amount of times, hours per month. This is how much a quarter would be for whatever it is. Show me the money, boyfriend. You have not started out on a good foot with me, however. Go on.
uh-oh. Okay, well, here's the money. I take home $3,642 a month.
Mm-hmm.
We have expense of $2,991 a month. My wife and I have no debt. We own our home outright.
Mm-hmm.
We have $21,000 in liquid savings, and we have $76,000 in retirement.
And you have $21,000 in liquid savings. This thing is $30,000. How are you going to pay for it?
Well, we were going to take out a $30,000 HELOC at 3.9%.
Yes. Is it a fixed HELOC or is it a HELOC where interest rates can go up?
No, this is fixed.
This is fixed. So you are going to have to take out $30,000 of your home that you currently own outright to buy a used firewood, whatever it is, right?
That is correct.
Denied. And here is why it is denied. You own your home outright, boyfriend. If something happens to you and your wife cannot use this thing because this is your play toy, not her play toy, she's going to be stuck with having to pay this home equity line of credit on this, number one. Number two, I've been looking at things here. You need new cars. You have mileage on your cars. There are other expenses that you have. You don't have enough money to do it. If you had the money to buy it outright and this was a play toy, maybe. But no, you are denied. Don't do it, Brian. Don't do it. Mike, what do you want to buy?
Susie, I would like to buy a folding bike with case. I travel for work to places with great bike riding, and I want a bike I can take as checked luggage.
Do you think you would really do it? I used to think about this. I used to think, I'll just put a little bike on, da-da-da. And then I thought, if I really did it, have you ever rented one to even try it and take it with you?
No, I've not rented one.
All right, something you might want to think about, but go ahead. You want to spend almost $1,700 on a folding bike with case, right?
Yes.
Show me the money.
We take home $11,219 a month combined. Mm-hmm. We have expenses of $7,013 a month.
Yes.
Plus I pay an additional $575 a month in rent. We have a 30-year fixed mortgage for $116,000. We have no other debt. We have $77,000 in liquid savings and $514,000 in retirement.
And you're 49 years of age, yes?
Yes.
How are you going to pay for this?
I'm going to pay for it out of my liquid savings.
And so you're going to take $1,700 to buy a folding bike that you're not sure if you're really going to use or not. Is that correct?
You could put it that way, yes.
You could put it that way. My suggestion is, like I said, why don't you rent one first? I'm sure there are places that can do it. And just see how you like it. Do you like lugging it, or do you just want to get on the plane, off the plane? Just see, okay? But besides that, you're approved because you can afford it. Tina, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Tina.
How are you?
I'm fabulous, thank you.
I want to buy 2 tickets to my 10-year high school reunion for me and my husband.
$90.
Yeah, they're $45 a piece.
Yeah.
But that would include hors d'oeuvres, beer, and wine. And I know it doesn't sound like very much money, but things are really tight right now, and I'm wondering if I should go hang out with my old friends or just put the money towards something else.
For you to pay for this,
Yeah.
where are you going to get the money?
I'm just going to take it out of my take-home, just kind of budget it. It's still a few months away.
All right, so let's show everybody your money.
Okay.
Because, the truth is, Tina, when people call in and they see $90, they wonder, why is somebody even calling in for a $90 expenditure? Show everybody your money so they can see why.
Okay. Well, we take home $4,523 a month combined.
Yes.
We have expenses of $3,403 a month, and we pay $885 a month in rent.
So essentially, just so everybody gets the screen that they're looking at, you take in approximately everything, because with your rent, you're spending about $4,400 a month.
Right.
Go on. So there is no money left over.
Pretty much right.
All right, go on.
We have $6,100 in credit card debt.
Yep.
We have $15,600 in car loans, and that's between my husband's truck and his Harley motorcycle. We have $2,500 in liquid savings, and we have about $110,000 in retirement.
So when you look at your $2,500 in liquid savings compared to the $6,000 that you have in credit card debt, you actually don't have any money at all.
True.
Also, you don't have an 8-month emergency fund, but I've gone through your expenses. Now, I was going to deny you. I honest to God was, because if you just look at your numbers, you cannot afford it. But I'm willing to kind of make you a deal here, because you are young, you're 27 years of age, and you've done a nice job in saving for your retirement, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
All right, therefore, you also eat out every single month to the tune of $150 a month. Correct?
Correct.
If you are willing to eat out only 50% of the time that you currently are, or if you are willing to cut out $90 a month from eating out for 1 year, then I will approve you to spend $90 to go to a high school reunion.
Okay.
What do you think? Are you willing to make that deal with me?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Then you are approved,
Thank you so
girlfriend.
much.
Hey, want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find, I bet you can do this line with me. Ready? Try to do it with me. And you will find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me. Say it, everybody, right here. Coming up next, Bianca wants to know,
Susie, how am I doing?
you know all those people that are telling you you can't take it with you? You're saving too much money, you're too obsessed, Bianca? Do you think any of those people have as much money as you have right now at the ripe old age of 35?
Hi, Susie. Thank you for approving my new carpet.
Approved.
In your Can I Afford It Home Edition, I showed you my old carpet that was stained when my dog chewed up a pen and tracked ink all over the room. I didn't know how bad it looked until the new carpet went in. Now, the dogs think it looks great, and so do my husband and I. Thanks again, Joan.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the How Am I Doing segment. This is where I literally look into, with great detail, all of your finances to answer your question, how are you doing? You're going to be able to meet your goals. Can you retire? Can you do whatever it is that your goal happens to be? Bianca wants to know from me tonight, Susie, how am I doing?
Hi, Susie. I'm 35 and single. I was raised to be independent and to take care of myself. It's made me obsessed with securing my future. Friends and family tell me I'm too tight with money and that you can't take it with you, but I feel like I'm not even close to saving enough. Susie, how am I doing?
So, Bianca, before we start, I just have to ask you a question. You know all those people that are telling you you can't take it with you? You're saving too much money, you're too obsessed, Bianca? Do you think any of those people have as much money as you have right now at the ripe old age of 35?
I don't think so.
And that's who you want to listen to? You're listening to somebody who doesn't have money. Listen to me, Bianca. You want to be like me. Anyway, girlfriend, I'm going to give you a grade. I'm going to tell you how you're doing. But, you know, before I start this, I always like to ask, how do you think that you're doing? If you were going to give yourself a grade, what would it be?
I would think probably a C or C+.
And why is that?
Just sometimes when I go over the figures, I wonder, as far as retirement, will I have enough? I'm hoping to have $1 million, but right now I project maybe 300,000.
All right, let's show everybody what you've got going for yourself. All right, here are the numbers, everybody. Currently, Bianca is making $1,900 essentially a month. Her expenses are about $1,400. Her retirement, she currently has $37,000 in retirement. She has $13,000 in an emergency fund. She has $1,000 in investments. She does own a home. The current value is $80,000. She owes $71,000 in it, so she has equity on it. So she has a total she has total assets of $132,000, total debt of $71,000, and she is 35 years of age. Doesn't have any credit card debt, nothing. If I were going to give you a grade, Bianca, the grade that I would give you is a B+. Let me tell you why. First of all, you have high FICO scores, your credit scores, give you an A there. In terms of debt, you didn't really have any debt except the debt on your mortgage, give you an A there. Retirement plan, I'm giving you only a B there because a lot of your retirement plan is made up of money that you are putting into a traditional IRA. You are only making $2,000 a month. You're not in that high of an income tax bracket. You would be far better off in a Roth IRA than a traditional IRA because you're not really getting a lot of advantage out of the tax write-off. So you're making a mistake there. And in terms of estate planning, here you are, a single woman. All you have is a will. You also need a living revocable trust. You never know when something can happen to you. So because of that, I've given you a C there, which gives you overall a B+. However, let me just talk to you a little bit about how you could get that to an A, how you can make sure that you know you're going to have enough money for retirement so that you are not afraid in anything that you are currently doing. So here is what I would do if I were you. Right now, you have insurance with one company that insures your car, another one that insures your home. I would choose one or the other, but I would combine both my car and home insurance with one company because normally when a company carries both your car and home, you actually get about a 10 to 30% reduction depending on the company. That would allow you to save money. Next, little by little, I would start to convert money that's in my traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. So later on in life, what you see is what you get. All that money will be yours. Money that's in a traditional IRA, it will continue to grow tax deferred. But later on in life, when you go to take it out, you will owe ordinary income taxes on it versus it being tax-free, which is how it would be with a Roth. So I would start converting to a Roth, and all my new contributions would be into a Roth IRA, not a traditional. Next, currently, you have a mortgage on your home. It is a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. You've been paying it for 2 years, and your current interest rate on it is 5.6%. Your current monthly payments are $422 a month. Now, you told our producers that you thought you were going to keep this home for another 10 years. If you could refinance this home now to a 15-year fixed-rate mortgage, remember, 15-year fixed-rate mortgages are far less expensive interest rate-wise than 30 years. You could probably get somewhere in the low 4% range. If you did that, your monthly payments would go from what you're currently paying, about $422 a month, to $530 a month, so about $100 more a month to you. However, do you know if you did that after 10 years, you would only owe about $28,000 on that mortgage versus if you continue to do it like you have it right now, you would owe $60,000 on that mortgage. So therefore, I think if you were to refinance, take advantage of these low interest rates, you would own this house possibly outright sooner than later if you decide to stay there. As far as projecting out, will you have at least $1 million by the time that you are 65? If you continue to contribute to your retirement accounts the way that you're doing, with normal growth, you should have about $1.2 million. Wow. In your retirements at the age of 65. If, however, you up your Roth contributions to the max, currently you're putting in $300 a month. If you put in $416 a month every single month, at the age of 65, you should have about $1.4 or $1.5 million. So that extra $100 a month 30 years from now will convert to about another $200,000 or $300,000 for you. So that is your action plan, girlfriend. How are you doing, Bianca?
I feel great.
Yeah, and you are doing just great. And do me a favor, don't listen to those people that say you can't take it with you. I don't want you to take it with you, but I sure want you to be able to enjoy it when you're older. Are you in love with this man?
Yes.
Do you want to stay with this man for the rest of your life?
Yes.
If you really want that to be true, you have got to face his wrath now. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. All right, it is time for the last call, and we always save the best call for last, and this one is a doozy. It is all about hidden debt. Let's go to Becky in Iowa. Are you afraid of something?
Yes, I am.
What is it?
Well, I kind of let our line of credit get out of control, and
Uh-huh.
my husband doesn't know about it.
How much do you owe on your credit cards right now?
$9,400.
$9,400. I just have to ask, have you gained weight?
Yes.
Yes, and have you gained 20 pounds?
Close to it.
Close to it, okay. Usually, I keep saying this to everybody, when you have hidden credit card debt, you usually gain 1 to 2 pounds for every $1,000 of credit card debt that you are hiding. I don't know why that is true. All I can tell you is every time somebody calls and they say they have hidden credit card debt, that fear of somebody else finding out about it translates into you eating more food, filling up that fear in you, trying to quiet it, and you gain weight. All right, go on.
And we needed a new roof for the house, and we had to go get a loan for that. And I was scared that he'd find out about that line of credit. And I don't know how to tell him that that line of credit is out there.
Becky, here's my real question to you. What is it that you are so afraid of that this man is going to do to you if you tell him that you have $9,400 of credit card debt?
He's going to have a fit about it. He's going to yell and scream and everything else.
And did you know that when it was $1,000 of debt? Yes. And you have now let it grow into $9,400. Did you have this plan in your head that you could just pay it off and he would never find out?
Yeah, I still have that plan in my head.
You do?
Yeah.
I have another question for you. Are you in love with this man?
Yes.
Do you want to stay with this man for the rest of your life?
Yes.
If you really want that to be true, you have got to face his wrath now. You can't go behind his back and pay it off. You can go to him and you can say, honey, I have spent, and what did you spend that $9,400 on, by the way?
I think I paid off credit card bills because he'd ask me if this bill was paid off, and I say yes, and I go and get in the line of credit and pay it off that way.
Ah, all right. Now I get it, Becky. I want you again. I want everybody else to listen to me. My opinion, you are not hiding this debt from your husband simply because you're afraid of how he's going to react. Most people in your situation, when you are hiding debt, you're hiding debt simply to protect your husband because you don't want him to feel inadequate because he's not bringing in enough money to pay the bills. So what do? You literally take one credit card to pay another bill, to pay another bill. It's not a situation where you are going out, running up all this credit card debt on things that he doesn't even know you're buying. You're using your credit cards to pay the bills and other credit cards simply for the family to survive because not enough money is coming in. Now, it's not his fault that not enough money is coming in. In essence, it's your fault because you haven't let him know that not enough money is coming in. So here's what you need to do. The two of you need to sit down together. You need to look at how much is coming in, how much is going out. You need to show him the $9,700 or whatever it is of credit card debt that you have. You need to show him why you have it, and the two of you need to work it out together. It's not just your fault. It's not just his fault. It's a fault of the two of you not paying attention to the money that you both have. Well, that's a wrap, my dear friends. Did it help you deal with your fears? Listen, you all have what it takes to deal with your fears about money. You all have what it takes to deal with anything about your money, which is why you come to the Suze Orman Show every Saturday night. So until next week, however, there's only one thing that I want you to remember, and it's this. People first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe.